Hi there, Jennifer Jimenez here. Happy holidays. And if you are like me and many of the incredible clients all over the world that I have the privilege of serving, there may be a part of you that's feeling like I have more to do during this holiday season than I feel like I have time to accomplish. And so I'm going to be sharing with you a story that's called the Big Rocks of Life story that I've actually been sharing recently in several of my teaching sessions and with my coaching clients that really help keep the overstress and the anxiety and the oftentimes the feelings that can be associated with really busy times of our lives, and really help create a simple solution that can bring you back to a sense of peace of mind, to alignment, to feeling calm and confident, which I know we all want to be feeling more often than not. And then I have a special holiday gift for you that is a natural way to boost your happy hormones, the hormones that really help you are just naturally feel filled with really great energy and great feelings like serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. So stay to the end so you can make sure to receive this free, highly valuable holiday gift. So now to this story called The Big Rocks of Life. Now this comes from a book by Dr. Stephen Covey. And the title of this story also is First Things First. So one day, this expert was speaking to a group of business students, and to drive home a point, used an illustration I'm sure those students will never forget. After I share it with you, you'll never forget it either. As this man stood in front of a group of high-powered overachievers, he said, "Okay, time for a quiz." Then he pulled out a 1-gallon wide-mouth mason jar and set it on a table in front of him. Then he produced about a dozen fist-sized rocks and carefully placed them one at a time into the jar. Now, when the jar was filled to the top and no more rocks would fit inside, he said, "Is this jar full?" And everyone in the class said, "Yes." Then he said, "Really?" And he reached under the table and pulled out a bucket of gravel. Then he dumped some gravel in and shook the jar, causing the pieces of gravel to work themselves down into the spaces between the rocks. Then he smiled and asked the group once more, "Is the jar full?" By this time, the class was on to him. "Probably not," one of them answered. "Good," he replied. And he reached under the table and brought out a bucket of sand. He started dumping the sand in, and it went into all the spaces left between the rocks and the gravel. Once more, he asked the question, "Is the jar full?" "No," the class shouted once again. "Good." Then he grabbed a pitcher of water and began to pour it in until the jar was filled to the brim. Then he looked up at the class and asked, "What is the point of this illustration?" One eager beaver raised his hand and said, "The point is, no matter how full your schedule is, if you really try hard, you can always fit some more things into it." "No," the speaker replied, "that's not the point. The truth is, this illustration teaches us if we don't put the big rocks in first, you'll never get them in at all." Now, I have a question for you. What are the big rocks in your life? Is it a project you'd want to accomplish? Your family, connection with your family, health and well-being, making sure that you get in some healthy movement, some healthy food, some downtime, some recovery time inside of your schedule. Maybe it's your faith, maybe it's your education, your finances, a cause that matters to you, teaching or mentoring others. And the whole point of this story, the moral of the story, is to remember to put the big rocks in first, or you will never get them in at all. So raise your hand up if you feel that this story resonates. And I can tell you in my own life experience, there have been times when I felt like life was in flow, when I was doing well, and I was feeling happy and accomplished. And there are other times in my life when I absolutely felt like I was completely burned out, and I had forgotten to put the big rocks into my schedule. And so everything else was I was feeling like I was drowning in all of the to-dos and in the rat race of really climbing the corporate ladder. This was, of course, before I made a very heartfelt and soul-aligned decision to do what I do today full time. And so here at the Brave Thinking Institute, we believe in you. We believe in people. And we empower people to create and live a life they love. We believe you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And yes, this human experience, we are often pulled in so many directions. So I'm going to give you a 5-step process that we use here at the Brave Thinking Institute to implement this big rocks concept. And then I'm going to give you a gift that will help make things even easier if you'd like a little additional support in this process. So this 5-step process for how to really implement the big rocks, because it's a great concept. And yet you might be wondering, how do I actually do this? What is the step-by-step process? So there's more than one right answer. There's more than one way to do this. This is one of the ways that I have implemented these steps and the big rocks concept into my life. And here's the beautiful thing. Now that I live from my vision, I have created my dream life, then no matter what's going on in life, if the world hands me a global pandemic, or I'm feeling under the weather, or there's something going on in my life, I feel equipped. I feel like I have the tools and the processes and the universal principles that can help me stay aligned with my soul's purpose, feeling healthy and vibrant. And it doesn't mean that I don't fail, and there aren't sometimes obstacles that ultimately are qualifiers in this beautiful, what I like to call spiritual life school that we are all on. But none of those things kick me so far to the curb, or I don't feel like I get to a place of burnout anymore like I used to. I'm able to stay aligned. I'm able to keep myself feeling calm and confident. I'm able to continue to build my dreams and ultimately help others, thousands and thousands of others around the world, to do the same. So here's this 5-step process. The step number 1 is to really ask yourself, what are my big rocks in my life? Now, here at Brave Thinking Institute, we talk about 4 areas of your life: your health and well-being, which is foundational. Your health is your first wealth. I am the founder and director of the Health and Wellbeing Division of our Institute. And oftentimes our health practices, our rejuvenation practices, in many people's lives, they feel that those are the things that fall by the wayside whenever there's a crisis or there's something going on, or what hits the fan. We often will put ourselves on the back burner. And so definitely making sure that above really other things that aren't as important, because if you aren't healthy, you can't take care of anyone else. So health and well-being, love and relationships, your vocation, and time and money freedom. And in those areas, what are the big rocks? And I'd like to just shine a little light of love, extra love, particularly during this time of year when you can be creating New Year's resolutions and creating a vision for what you would love. What does that full health and well-being, time and money freedom, love and relationships, where you're living a life that you love, it really takes us to our step number 2. So identifying what your big rocks are in these 4 areas is number 1. Step number 2 is to really ask our number 1 brave thinking question, and that is, what would I love? Not what do I think is possible, not why do I not think this is possible, but really pressing pause on the how. What if you could? What if it could be easy? What would you love? If you could create a life where the big rocks were present on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, what would you love that life to look like? That takes me to step number 3, to really create a vision for your ideal day, week, and month, with all 4 quadrants in mind, and with work-life harmony in mind, where you have the time and the space to move your body, to eat healthy, to rest, to get the appropriate number of hours of sleep, to have some time with your loved ones, to do work that is meaningful, really crafting that vision. That takes us to step number 4. Once you've crafted the vision, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you let your calendar control you, then ultimately most people that live that way live a very unhappy, unsatisfied life. However, when you realize that you're co-creating the results that you're experiencing with the power that is breathing you and these incredible universal spiritual principles, then you can take a look at your calendar and say, what would I love this calendar to look and feel like? And do what you can with what you have from where you are. Begin to put days off, like your birthday or an anniversary or going on a vacation. We have many clients that years, sometimes some of them decades, hadn't taken a vacation or gone anywhere because it was all work and no play. So what would you love? Vacation time, time off, recovery time, movement time, study time, all of the things that you would love, and put those big rocks on your calendar. I put date nights on my calendar for myself and my husband. I actually put date experiences with my children and my nieces and my nephew. And I want to invest in those relationships. So I literally put them on my calendar like I would put a doctor's appointment on my calendar. I put my anniversary, my birthday, I like to take that off. So I look at the year and I reverse engineer what I want my year to look like, movement time, all of that. So that's your step number 4, is to use your calendar as a spiritual tool, plugging those big rocks in advance. And then the 5th step is baby steps. And really practicing what we call here at Brave Thinking Institute, the 5-minute power move. To realize a little goes a long way. Something in the area of these big rocks is better than nothing. So let's say you're somebody that really would love to implement more movement or exercise into your life, and it's either non-existent or it's sporadic, and you would love this new year to have a rhythm and a pattern with that, where you're feeling energized and vibrant and strong and dynamic in your health and your well-being. Well, one of the first tools that I help my clients with is this 5-minute power move, that it's better to do 5 minutes of something than a lot of nothing. And so that's one of the things you can implement as well. So in these areas of big rocks, doing something is absolutely better than nothing. Even if I just text my loved one, let's say it's an extremely busy day and I'm not going to do maybe date night with my husband, I'm going to reschedule it, and I might just send him a 3-minute video telling him how much I love him and appreciate him. That little 3 minutes of love and appreciation and praise is going to be 1,000 times better than if I cancel date night and I do nothing. Something is a lot better than nothing. Now, this leads me to my free holiday gift for you, which is called my Confidence Kit. It includes an ebook and a guided self-love meditation. Now, this ebook tells a little bit about my story, so you can learn a little bit more about me, and most importantly, how I've learned and discovered these powerful 5-minute power moves that help unlock and unleash your happy hormones naturally, which are serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. Now, these 3 5-minute power moves are called the 5-minute confidence lifter, to help you feel more confident, beautiful, and loved in your own skin, just the way you are right now. The 5-minute body energizer will help you energize your body and enjoy more fun and pleasure with fitness and movement. And the third 5-minute power move is the 5-minute soul rejuvenator, which will help you increase your fun, help you feel inspired and rejuvenated in your soul. So I highly recommend that you click right here near this video to learn more about how to download this free gift. I think you're really going to love it, and it'll help absolutely put you on the track of having the big rocks in your schedule, even if you just start with these 3 5-minute power moves. So I wish you a happy, healthy, vibrant, strong, radiant holidays. And I really encourage you to use this big rocks concept as you look at your next year, as you look at the next 12 months, and really ask yourself, what would I love? What if I could? What if it could be easy? What would you love? And start to plug even just a few things on your calendar, reverse engineer what you would love to do. And when you get to those specific dates, I promise you, you are going to be so glad that you mark them on your calendar, that you put down the important things, birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, time off, vacation, whatever it is that you would love, so that you can absolutely create and live a life that you love. Until next time, think bravely and act boldly.